Hey, East Texas. This is a podcast where we discuss local, helpful information with the people and the stories behind it. In partnership with Moberly Baptist Church. I'm your host, Brandon Watson. We want to welcome everyone back to Hey, East Texas. We hope you're having an awesome day. Thank you for listening. Thanks for sharing Hey, East Texas with your friends. As you know, we are excited. Season 3 is our first season to be on YouTube, and we're very thankful for that. We first want to say thank you to our sponsors that make this all possible. First, we want to thank Precision Pools. Precision Pools has an excellent repertoire of pools and outdoor living spaces. They will help you turn your backyard into something very special. Call Tommy Curl and the folks over at Precision Pools, and they'll take good care of you. And they have a great maintenance department as well. And so give Precision Pools a call. Also, Plano Marine of East Texas, they sell fun. They have boat sales, service, and parts. Make sure that you give them a call. Jeff Gage, Johnny, Craig, they'll take a great care of you over at Plano Marine here in Longview. So thanks to all of our sponsors. Today, we're excited to have Lori Howeth here. She is the co-owner of Ivey Acres in Harleton, Texas. Lori runs a brand new family-owned venue that is really set to become a beloved spot for weddings and celebrations in East Texas. She offers warm, personal touch with a beautiful outdoor setting. From hometown hospitality to memorable events, Lori's passion for bringing people together to celebrate those important milestones in life shines through every detail at Ivey Acres. And so we are super excited to have Lori here on the Hey East Texas podcast. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we are glad that you're here, and I cannot wait for people to really learn about Ivey Acres. But before we get there, I want them to learn about Lori. So do this first. Tell us about yourself and then introduce your family to us.
I was born in Marshall, raised in Harleton, and have been here all my life. Went K through 12 at Harleton. Went to ETBU and met a city boy from Wiley, Texas, who played baseball. And we got married 37 years ago, and I transplanted him. I made him a country boy, and he's very grateful.
Well, I think if you live in Harleton, you better be country.
He didn't have a choice.
That's such a great area, isn't it?
It really is. Oh, there's not a lot of resources out there, but the people are amazing. I love Harleton. I've been a cheerleader for them all my life, so that's just what I remain. It's a great place to raise your kids.
Well, good. So let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us about where you grew up and how that's really shaped you to really who you are today.
Being from a small town has helped me realize the blessings of a small town. I am country girl through and through. I don't mind telling you, I love a good shopping trip to Dallas, but I could not live there. I like the small town feel. I like knowing people when I go out to the grocery store, and I like being able to help people around that I already know and have people know me when we go outside. So,
well, that's great. Now, let's talk before we get into Ivey Acres, which we really want to highlight on today's episode. What has been some of your previous work experience that's kind of brought you to this spot?
I probably have the shortest resume in the history of resumes. I did work a couple of clothing stores when I was in high school, but I started working at Marshall Tire Center when I was 17. My daddy was running it at the time, and he hired me to work the front counter, and he bought the store in 1987. I kept working for him. My husband and I got married in 88. We moved to Wiley for 1 year while my husband was a coach, and then I'm like, I got to get back. I need East Texas. I need Harleton. So we came back. My husband was going to work there one summer while he found another coaching job. And 35 years later, we decided to get out of the tire industry.
So y'all both worked in the tire.
We did. We stayed there and bought it from my dad in 2009. And then we opened another tire store and ended up selling that in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we
That's
know
a
tires.
transition. Okay, so now let's talk about Ivy Acres. What all does Ivy Acres encompass? And I've got a little bit because you shared your maiden name. I've got an idea of where the name came from, but you can kind of walk us through that as well.
Well, when my husband and I moved back from Wiley, we had a little girl, and we had a little trailer right behind my parents' house, and my sister had a little trailer right behind my parents' house, and we all shared a backyard. Well, then my parents bought 50 acres out on Highway 154 and decided they were going to build a house out there. And they did. And about a year later, I called them up. I said, I'm coming. And then my sister did the same thing, and we bought some land right beside them, and we built houses there. And so we all lived on the same 50 acres. Our kids grew up together, running from house to house, and my parents, helped raise them, and we just all loved each other's kids. So it was a
Very
great
close
experience.
knit family.
Yeah.
And you
very
better be
close.
when you live next door to each other,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, definitely. But it was a great experience.
Okay. And so Ivy Acres started,
Yeah.
and what all is there?
Well, when my parents bought, we ended up buying the land from my parents, and they built a smaller house on the front of the property. So there's 4 houses on the front of the property, and we have the back 25 acres that we just weren't really doing anything with. And we decided, my husband and I were like, what can we do? I love to host people. So we decided to build 3 little cabins in the corner, and that was 3 years ago that we started those. And we were Airbnb on the weekends, and then it got to be also the weeks, and we've just been really successful with that. But ETB people have been good to us and come out and stay when they go visit their kiddos, and people that visit Bear Creek Smokehouse will come out and stay, and it's just been amazing. The
Yeah.
people that want to come to Harleton.
Yeah, because y'all are less than 3 miles away from Bear Creek.
We are. We're close to Bear Bottom. We're a mile away from Enoch Stump. So
Yeah.
we're just in the center of activity in Harleton, Texas. So.
Yes, I'm telling you. But if you want to get out and you want to see the stars at night,
We are the place.
yeah, you're the place. So you have these. Do you call them cottages or houses?
We call them the cabins.
Okay,
the cabins
cabins.
at Ivey Acres, and we just started that. We have a stocked pond and a covered dock, and when we first started, that was all that was out there, and people would just come, and the city people would be like, "Oh my goodness, it's just wonderful out here," and I'd be like, "There's nothing to do out here," and they'd be like, "Exactly, there's nothing to do out here," and
That's
so
great.
we found out that that's really what drew them, and so we made sure to keep it quiet and peaceful and just different things for them to see and do. We have ducks and fish, and
Now
I think
you
they enjoy it.
you had me at Stocked Pond.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I promise you, we have catfish that are at least, I don't even know, 18 inches. I don't know how big
Yeah,
the catfish is,
yeah.
but they're huge because they're really old. And I
Yeah.
call them my grandpa fish because they've been there forever.
Yeah.
But they can hear the gators drive up, and
Oh,
they
they
know
s-
that it's time to feed. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
they'll just come up, and the ducks come up, and it's just a lot of fun.
Now you shared a little bit. Maiden name is Ivy.
Yes.
And so is that how y'all came up with the name, or was it always going to be that, or
We've always called the hill, we live on a hill, we've always called the hill Ivey Acres just because my parents bought it. And then when we decided that we wanted to kind of make it a destination, I didn't have any other idea in my head. I just always thought it would be Ivey Acres.
now you're adding outside of the cabins
Yes.
a wedding or celebration venue.
Yeah.
And so how obviously you wanted to use you mentioned that you wanted to use the back 25 acres. So how did the dream of what these venues would look like, how did that happen?
I'm an Enneagram 7, if you are familiar with that. I love people. I love parties. I love hosting. I love doing stuff all the time. And so it actually happened because I wanted an outdoor kitchen by my pool. And my husband said, we don't need an outdoor kitchen. And I decided that if we rented our pool for parties, I could pay for the outdoor kitchen. So I got a bid for an outdoor kitchen. I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. What if I put a party barn like with it so we could have bigger parties, and got a bid for that. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. But in true Lori fashion, I just said, hey, let's go bigger. What if we did something on the backside? And then 3 years later, we had cabins, and now we're building the wedding venue because I just like having people making memories at Ivey Acres. And the whole wedding thing came across because people at the cabins were like, oh, we want to get married here. And I'm like, I don't have enough room for you. I don't have enough bathrooms and stuff.
Wow.
And so if I do something, I tend to overdo, and I go big. So we are going big.
Wow, that's great. And so we'll talk a little bit about what all that encompasses in just a second. But when you start dreaming about this and start putting all this together, where did you go to kind of say, okay, I want to look at this to try to find out what maybe the chapel would look like, or what kind of research went into this?
When we decided this is kind of what we want to do, Mike and I decided to take little vacations, and we would plan them around venues that I would find online, and I'd be like, oh, that's kind of like what I want. And so we'd go and we'd tour that venue, or we'd go and drive by this venue, and we ended up picking what we liked about some, and we did, attended weddings, and we'd find what we liked.
About how many different venues do you think you looked at?
Oh, gosh, I probably looked at 10 or 15. I went to some wedding owners conferences where they were just for people that own wedding venues. One was specifically for people who were thinking about building a wedding venue. That got me really thinking, and so they gave a lot of good tips on that. But during the design process, I invited people from the different parts of the wedding industry. So I invited a photographer out and said, will you please tell me what you would do if you were building this? So how would you lean it as far as the direction, as far as the sun coming up and going down? And what colors of paint do you prefer as a photographer? And I got ideas for that. And I had a caterer come out and say, please design my kitchen. I don't know anything about this. And so she said, this is what I would do here and here and here. And I had a DJ come out and tell us what equipment we needed.
I used to DJ.
Did you really?
Yeah, back in the day, back in college, and then a little post-college. When I lived in Tyler after graduating college, I did that.
Fun.
I used to do weddings and all sorts of stuff.
Well, I have met some really cool people that DJ. It's been an eye-opening experience. There's some neat people out there.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you paid close attention to how the sun is going to, because how it could affect photos, which is so important in a wedding that we don't want to mess up, our wedding photos because sun problems.
Yes, we actually had to tilt the chapel a little bit because otherwise the sun would be coming directly in we have a wall of windows at the back of it. And so we ended up having to tilt it a little bit. But we've tested it, and I think it's going to be pretty perfect as far as the sunset goes.
Okay, so let's walk through the different things that are there at Ivey Acres. We know that there's Airbnb cabins. We've talked about the chapel. About how many people can sit in the chapel?
200 can at least. I think it'd probably be 220. I kind of enlarged the buildings during the design, so we're going to have to.
Lori went big again.
I overdid it again. Yeah. But we have white pews that they were built for the chapel, and it's the old timey looking church building with a bell that they can ring when they leave. I love the bell. And it's really
It's great. Almost like that Little House on the Prairie moment,
I mean, it came out exactly.
Can you tell I had an older sister?
I'm so glad.
We watched a lot of that because, she's 4 years older, and so ringing the bell at the church, the chapel, So you have a chapel.
We have a chapel. We have a courtyard and then the event center. So in the courtyard, it's all sod and the string lights over it. It'd be great for cocktail hour. The event center is 5,000 square feet of just the party room. So it's real big. It has a big wall of windows.
Great reception area, per se.
That's what we're hoping for, big parties there. And then we also have the bridal suite above, which is 1,000 square feet. It got much bigger than, it was 600 square feet when we started. So I went big on that.
There you go.
I'm so in love with the bridal
I'm seeing
suite.
a reoccurring theme here.
You think so? I think my husband has seen that over the years also.
So the bridal suite is upstairs where?
It is upstairs in the event center.
Okay.
And it's also got a loft in front of it, so there's overflow if you got moms and grandmoms and you need room for lots of people. The loft is also used if they wanted during the reception. You could have people up there. It's kind of like a lounge area. We have big prep kitchen. We have a buffet hall, so you don't have to take up the space in the event center. We have a 15 by 100-foot porch.
Oh, wow.
It's huge porch, and it always gets a little breeze. Covered porch, I love it. We have an outdoor ceremony space that has the tiered seating. I went to the lake out here at Moberly.
Yeah, the amphitheater
Yes.
at Williams Lake behind Moberly.
And
Yeah.
that's what we took pictures of and took to our building and kind of did something similar to that. And then it's right on the pond, and it could be a really pretty place for outdoor ceremonies.
Yes.
And we have a groom's room, of course.
Yeah. And where's the groom's room?
So it's across the street in the compound, but it is in what we're calling the warehouse. And so they've got their own little space. It's got a full bath. It's got a kitchenette, a Murphy bed. It can also be double as another space to stay. But beside the groom's room is the something borrowed room, and it is massive because I have a lot of stuff that they can use. I have vases and candles and greenery, enough to outfit, at least 300 people wedding. So all of that's free to my brides.
Wow.
Yes. And then we have our offices and a laundry room in there also.
So it's quite a bit.
It's a lot bigger than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. This went from a pull outdoor kitchen
Yes.
to
A big.
indoor outdoor wedding choices, big fellowship, reception area,
Yeah.
bride's rooms, groom room, something borrowed room. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right there with a stocked pond too.
I know. And guess what?
What?
I didn't get my outdoor kitchen.
Wow.
Yeah. I have
We need to-
four extra kitchens now, but none of them are outdoor.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to GoFundMe or
I
something.
think
yeah,
we might have to do that.
After all this. So tell me about what makes Ivey Acres really stand out. I mean, you've seen some of the venues and some of the things around the area, but if you could say, this is what makes us different, what is it?
First of all, I'm sure everybody thinks their space is special, but
Sure.
our land, I have just always loved our land. It's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, but it's quiet, it's beautiful, the sunsets are gorgeous, and we've kind of tried to capitalize on all of that. So the setting at Ivey Acres is like none of you get the whole 25 back acres and part of the front acreage. So if you book a 3-day package, you get everything we have and a golf cart to go with it. So there's a golf cart path all the way around the property, so you can get anywhere you want to. But also, we spent 37 years running a business, and we learned that pleasing the customer is what makes you successful. And I really want to make sure that our brides feel like they're part of a family, that they are special because they are, and that their day is memorable. I want them to realize that family is important, so we really want to give a lot of space to have family come in and spend time together. Eventually, I would love for all of my weddings to be 3 days or just spend time with family. That's when everybody comes together and make memories and enjoy each other.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But I really want them to enjoy their special day, and when they're making their vows and their commitment to God, they look back at Ivey Acres and say that's a special place.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now, talking about family, yes, you guys, this is a family owned and operated venue and cabins. I mean, the acres. And you have your family helping you with this. So tell us about that.
I'm very blessed that my daughter and her husband moved back from the Dallas area last year, and it ends up they are here to help us, and they are invaluable because there's a lot of land to mow. There's a lot of work to be done, and my daughter has been incredible with taking care of the brides, taking care of a lot of the business side. They're great. I also have a son, and he still lives in the Metroplex, he and his wife, and both my kids picked great spouses. I just couldn't be happier, and they both did really great job on their kiddos. I have 4 perfect grandkids. Can you imagine?
Perfect
Perfect
grandkids.
grandkids,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
They don't do anything wrong.
Grandkids
So
are perfect.
they are.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever. That's the best job I've ever had. So
Well, good. Now, let's talk about the challenges. The rewards are coming because you're nearing the final stages of having this all completed.
yay.
And then you're going to host at the end of fall, you're going to host your first wedding. And then it's probably going to be lights on and let's, have
Right.
more and more weddings and making memories with people and having a great time out there. So what have been some of the challenges?
Financing was hard for us because I'm a go big kind of girl. We spent several years making the plans, getting the things going with the SBA. I had several banks say yes, and then they would say, oh, but we don't want to do the chapel right now. We'll come back and do that later. And that was kind of my line in the sand. I thought the
Deal
chapel
breaker.
was, yes, it really was. And
Yeah.
so I walked away from a couple of banks because we just weren't on alignment. I didn't want to stop later and build a chapel. I thought that's what East Texas needs. We have a couple with chapels, but we have a lot of smaller venues that don't have chapels. And I wanted a place that big weddings could come and have an option. If the weather's bad, you have a place to go and you don't have to flip it. We have a generator, so we have 3 generators. So if something happens, everything going to keep going. So
Yeah. And that's
financing was
important.
hard. Yeah, it is important. SBA is a great resource in Longview, Texas. If y'all don't know Virgil Connor at the SBA, he is a great resource to help small businesses. He helped us at the tire store before we ever got to this, and he will fight for you and give you great advice.
Now, how does this venue, and you've kind of described this, but I want to come back to it. How does this venue really showcase East Texas?
Like I said, I love East Texas. So everything we've done is kind of to promote East Texas. We work with Bear Creek Smokehouse. We work with Enoch Stump and Walker's Mill. I give out tokens to our tours and say, go get you a glass of wine or go get you a milkshake at Bear Creek Smokehouse or a tea at the Spot in Harleton, because I want them to come out and see that there's more than just our venue out there. East Texas is just beautiful. What God made out here is just incredible. And so I love having people come out to see it.
Well, before we go into the Big 7, I do want you to share with us, how do people find your information, your website, if they want to say, hey, I listened to Lori on the podcast, but now I want to go see the pictures of this place and I want to look at that. So how do they find you?
Well, we have a website at ivyacresevents.com. That's the wedding website right now. And then we have ivyacres.com. That's the cabin website that we've had for 3 years. So if you want to see all the pictures of the cabins, and you can switch back. They all have links to each other. And then we're also on Facebook and Instagram. We've ventured into TikTok a little.
I see maybe a pastor's retreat in the future.
Oh, we would love that. When we open, we'll be able to sleep 22 on our property and then another 8 right behind our property. A neighbor has an Airbnb, so we could do that.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the Big 7.
Hey, East Texas. I'm Tommy Curl, owner at Precision Pools. We build custom swimming pools that blend relaxation, fun, and timeless beauty. With our commitment to honesty, integrity, and superior craftsmanship, we'll design your dream pool to stand the test of time. Visit PrecisionPoolsTX.com.
Hi folks, Jeff Gage with Plano Marine of East Texas and Longview, the premier dealer in East Texas, offering the top brands in the business. Call or come see us today and let us help find the perfect boat for you.
Okay, we're back, and we're here with Lori Howeth, and she has been saying so many great things about Ivey Acres, and now we get into the Big 7. These are 7 questions that we ask every guest, and we think that everybody has something really unique to offer and share with us. And so, Lori, we're excited about this. Question number 1, what is the greatest lesson you've ever learned? Let's hear what the country girl has to say.
Well, I've learned a lot of lessons. A lot of them were learned in the garden or down at the barn, and my daddy taught me many lessons, but I would say one thing that was freeing to me when I was in my 30s, I heard the saying that you can be the juiciest, sweetest peach in the world, but there's going to be somebody that doesn't like peaches. And that just made me really think, like, you know what? I'm okay. The way I am is okay. I don't like yogurt, but that doesn't mean yogurt's bad. Just somebody doesn't like yogurt. So it just made me really believe and understand that God made me the way I am. I'm not for everybody, but I find the people that do like me and find my tribe and stay with them. And that just helped me as a very insecure 30-year-old.
No, that's important because, like the old saying, different strokes for different folks. And, how we are and how God made us, that's so true that we may not be for everyone, but we still are for some.
Yes.
And there's so many folks that are in our circle that love us, that we love them, and they're different than we are. But it's really how God makes us that really adds to, I would just say, the canvas of life. All the different colors and personalities and all that just make a beautiful picture. So here's question number 2. How has failure shaped your life?
I've been through my share of failures, but we've been blessed, and when I have failed, what the lesson that's come from that is to realize how much my family supports me. No matter what happened, I always knew my family was there to catch me. I've always had a safety net there from the time I was in, diapers. My parents were there to pick me up. Even as an adult, I knew that my siblings would be there in a heartbeat. I have a tribe of friends that would come anytime I call, and now even my kids are my support system.
Right.
And so it just made me really be thankful for the successes and for the support system that I have.
You know what's great about when your family's there to catch you, you learn to catch others.
Yeah.
You learn to be there for other people. And when your kids go through hardship or failures in life or learning times or growing times, that we can be there for them. And it's really like when you get grace, you want to be a grace giver. And that's what's so awesome, just even with the gospel in our life, that when we think about what God's done for us, it makes us want to love others like he loves others.
Yes.
So that's great. Question number 3, Lori, what are you learning now besides building a venue?
I'm learning there are a million grout colors and paint chip colors. But I am learning at this age that it's okay to jump off that cliff and dive in. God's got you. I really felt like this is what God had planned for us. And we could have basically retired and had a pretty easy life. Still needed to work, but I wanted this and was scared to do it. And my husband, he's just, wherever I go, he just holds my hand and says, let's go. And
well, you said this earlier. You said, I like to host. You have the gift of hospitality. And so you feel like I've got to use that.
I do. And I never even thought of it as a gift until one day I had a preacher over for dinner. And he said, you have the gift of hospitality. And I was like, no, a gift is like singing and, preaching.
Oh, no. There is a gift of hospitality.
And once he said that, I thought, you know what? I need to use that. And so we've had youth parties and Sunday school parties at our house all the time just because I felt like that's something God gave me.
That's great. Question number 4 is, who's an East Texan that you know that we should know?
So this one stumped me a little bit because I know a bunch of really awesome people. There are a bunch of awesome people in Harleton, Texas. But I was thinking, if you haven't met Robbie Schultz and the Schultz family at Bear Creek down in Bear Bottom, you're fixing to, because they're having a reality show called Meet the Schultz, MEAT. And he's a character. His whole family is great. They're really neat people. He's definitely somebody. You should go out to Bear Creek and meet him.
Well, one thing you can help me with, let's get him on the podcast.
Oh, we can do it. I got him. We'll text him after this.
All right. Question number 5. What's something you've read that we should read? Are you a big reader?
I am a big reader. Well, I was before I got really busy, but now I listen to Audible books all the time. But I think one of the books that changed my relationships was the 5 love languages. If you haven't
Oh,
read
yeah.
that, it just
Gary
taught
Chapman.
me, yes, it taught me that my husband is telling me he loves me in a way that I wouldn't have thought of before, and that he also hears me saying I love you in a certain
right.
way. So it's a great book for couples.
Now, what is your love language?
I like acts of service.
Acts of service,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
But,
My wife is acts of service and quality time.
yes.
And I am words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because of what you said. A lot of times we love our spouse with our own love language, and
Exactly.
sometimes that's where the friction happens, and it's not accepted, or that's really not, you're really not speaking my language. But that when we find out their love language and then love them with that language, it makes things gel. Have you
Yes.
found that to be true?
Oh, so true. My husband's is also words of affirmation, I think. And I was telling him I loved him by doing the dishes for him or, cleaning up after him. And he wasn't hearing it that way. And of course, when I was waiting for him to do the dishes for me to tell me he
Yeah.
loved me. So when we figured everything out, I will see him do something and think, that's his way of telling me he loves me.
Okay, so let's talk about experiences. Question number 6 is, what's something that you've done that we should do? And I don't know if I could take beginning a venue.
Okay. Well, good. I don't want a lot of people to do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You want to be the one.
I would
yeah.
love to be. But if people ever had the chance, you should live on a family compound. It's the best of the best. It really is. My kids grew up riding four-wheelers to each other's houses. We had kickball games at night, just with meals on the hill. We all eat together. If I cook, I'm going to cook big and let everybody come eat. Our kids were interchangeable, and it's like the best gift I think I gave my kids, and now my grandkids are getting it, and it's a great experience.
One thing that I'm taking away from our conversation today is your deep love for your family.
Yeah, I got a really good one.
Yeah.
Really good.
And you just have said over and over again how much you've enjoyed being with them and your kids and their great spouses and your perfect grandchildren, and being able to all live around each other and have fun together, make memories. I mean, but this is still hard work doing all what you're doing now, but then everybody's going to pitch to the middle to make it all happen.
Yeah, and it's so neat to see everybody come together. We all have the same goal, a successful business. And it doesn't matter if I say, oh, we just had a booking. It's 6 o'clock at night. They're going to be there at 7 and the cabin's not clean. Just the other night, all 4 of us were in there scrubbing floors and cleaning dishes and getting it ready. And nobody complains. It's all of ours. It's not just mine and Mike's.
Okay, we're now at question number 7, which we think is important. What's a way that we can pray for you?
Y'all could pray for me that we have discernment in what God wants us to do. I mean, I know that our venue is a place where families can come together, and we want to be open to that, but we want to be open to churches and parties and people. And I want to hear God tell me what to do, and I want to do it.
Well, I'm going to pray for you right now.
Thank you.
All right. Well, God, thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk with Lori today. And God, we do pray for discernment in this venture. God, that they would honor you through everything that they do. God, we know that just in talking with Lori, just her great love for family. And so we want to lift up her family to you, and just this venture of Ivey Acres. God, would you just bless her business? Would you let it be something that changes lives and makes memories that will last a lifetime? And so, God, I just thank you for all the hard work that she's put in, and just ask that you'd bless it. And we pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Lori, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to hold you to that. Help me get Robbie on here.
I will do that.
Yeah, because Bear Creek's a cool place in East Texas.
It's so cool, and he has done so much with it. I mean, he thinks big. I like that.
Yeah, and I've seen him on, national news programs, and it's been great to see that happen right here in East Texas.
Yeah.
So thanks again for being with us today.
Thank you.
Well, we want to thank you guys for being a part of East Texas. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on social media, will you please just tell your friends about it and share it with your friends on social media? We'd love to share these great East Texas stories across all of our different platforms, and we're so thankful to be able to do this. Have a great day.